Hi, this is Katja Kunterbunt and my name is Kat. We are doing more session than a reading today and the table isn't yet prepared, but we do that together, I'm hearing. We are opening up the energy and I mean, you saw the title, right? So we are releasing. It's the big last push release of the 9 years cycle that we just exited, or we are exiting right now. By the way, this session is, as everything else in this world, timeless. But I am referring, of course, to the time in which I am recording, because that's energy that's present, okay? That's energy of the present moment. And so we are exiting 2025. We are in the first days of January. It is the 6th of January, by the way, very holy day actually. And up to the 9th of January, the old year is still full present. So that's why it's a great time to do that. And of course it isn't planned. Everything that's coming in, pushing us to the table, is just, meant to come through. And so yesterday, and I am doing, by the way, something very similar right now. So I am doing a 12th tide in between Christmas and, well, today. I cleansed each month for the new year to make a karmic reset, actually, to cleanse what was written on this particular part of the year before, to then have a fresh slate. So because walking through a year, that's also like walking through a portal. Each day is a portal, kind of, and each day, because we are moving in cycles, right? Time isn't linear. And each day is a portal. For example, the January the 6th is a portal to each January the 6th you've ever lived through in this lifetime, and even to all you lived through in previous lifetimes, see? And that's how we can use even traditions and, items, rituals, to form bridges, not only between humans now on earth, not only between family ancestry or whatever, but really we can bridge, wide and far, huge, I'm hearing. We can really create huge bridges and reach deep. And that's what we are doing today. So in my world, spirituality is quite practical, I must say. I'm 333 right now. And so I get a lot of physical messages, downloads, which means my child comes home, he's grown up, bringing the sword he found on the way right in front kind of our home. So he was like, yeah, Mom, I guess, it's for you. So yes, there we go. So we need that, right? We need that final strike, I'm hearing. That's what we're doing, a final strike, and it comes with the strong energy of Medusa. And she, in the storyline, she is the wife of Poseidon, but she was human and she was feared, and also her two siblings, because they were so powerful, and because she was the only one who was human, kind of vulnerable, she was beheaded then, and then her head was used still as a weapon, because her eyes, or just let's say everyone who looks at her, was transformed to stone. And I feel that's incredible for a karmic reset reading, because that's what we are doing basically. So we releasing things and letting them fall into the ground and, you know, away from us. And of course those stones can show up later in life as blocks for our roots, for, you know, for our life. They can block our life force lines. And you know what? Exactly while I was sitting down, this pearl flew out of a bowl and ran over there. And I was like, what is that? How shall I use that? And they were like, it's the drop of blood. So yeah, so here we go. We do have sword and we do have blood. And I should also pick up salt and everything else what's here on the table. But yeah, I wanted really to start with Medusa here. I mean, she wanted, and she is, her head then was presented to Athena. You know her, she's the wise one, the owl, the goddess. And she went with her through battle, right? So we call on actually the power of Medusa and Athena today, to see clearly and to be strong no matter what happens. No matter what happens. Okay? So, powerful guides here. And the underworld is represented with the ravens. This art piece of mine is a little bit death-like, but also fairy-like, but it is transformative energy. She has big wings, and I'm told that we will use her. And we shall use this tarot deck, which is from this TV story you probably know. I mean, I don't watch TV, 717, but I do have a few decks. Just modern ones, you know. So, and then this wanted to come through totally. So I cannot relate at all to the show, but maybe you can, maybe you know who that is. And so just pick up on what you want to pick up on, right? What specific messages you are receiving. And ooh, now I see why, because we do have this little taste of blood in here. So yeah, I thought immediately, great choice, Spirit. They showed me, and I haven't barely, I mean, used it, right? So just bought it for maybe a Halloween session or something. Yeah. Now, oh wow, so this is actually the Ace of Pentacles, or who are you? Yeah, it is the Ace of Pentacles, of course, and I love that because the Sun, she was the first card coming out for us. And Justice also. That was the first card coming out for us. I had a vision of the Sun, and last session I was forced to do yesterday, and I'm still super tired actually from all these 12th tide night sessions where I sat here really doing heavy ritual work, like 4 to 6 hours every day. But now this is coming through so heavily, and I just gotta get it out, right? So my voice may sound thin, I want to say a little bit, but I'm good. It's okay. It's okay. I already feel that strength is coming back, and that's a message, of course, you know. And also we had this supermoon right now, which yesterday, which caused me to do this wolf moon reading also, where it was all about what we are releasing right now and how we shall shift into the new year. It was just about leaving the personal layers behind, more or less, and just, of course, tuning into, as always, our authentic self. But it was very much about seeing the higher purpose and moving on disciplined, like disciplined, Capricorn-like. So there is a little link, and I saw a vision in this reading where it was about the sun, this very sun that wanted to pick us up and lift us higher. You know, Saturn, it's also the gates of Saturn. It speaks so much about this karmic release cycle period thing. And what I saw as a vision in the reading yesterday was the sun stretching out her rays, or his rays, right? And taking our hands and taking us up into the sky as a wheel of fortune energy. It was totally wheel of fortune energy yesterday. And you know, swirling us all around in the sky, like up, up, up. 19th chakra, right? Heart, higher, cosmic heart, galactic. Very high energy. And yeah, actually, before this reading, it started with the sun energy as a vision. So there is a clear link to the session yesterday, okay? But yeah, now I feel what the sun is doing. She is like, again, she, right? So she, the sun. So divine solar energy here. Okay, welcome. And this energy is just enwrapping us, you know, like a towel or whatever. And then really like what a towel would do, wrapping us and massaging and rubbing and all that, and to get the dirt away. And now I'm seeing like statues, figurines, and when they stand out there somewhere, you know, shit happens and birds fly by and whatever, and after a while they aren't that beautiful anymore, and then they just look like, you know, rotten stones or whatever. But actually you could just polish them, and so 111 right now. And that's the process, you know, that's this karmic release full cycle process. And I love that we have Medusa, Athena, and statuettes, because the first statuette ever I wanted to buy for myself was actually Athena. I don't have her, but have her here. But yeah, wonderful. And yeah, also with Greek, I want to say, these days we think this whole Greek style, it's all white, you know, all these clear white statues and columns, you know. But actually back then it was super colorful, like super colorful. You wouldn't expect that. And that also is a thing with the sun. So I want to bring the colors back in. And I'm forced since a few days, actually since this turning over from Christmas to the new year, I'm forced to, I mean, bright colors just flock to me, right? I got that new, and I'm always told what to wear, and so this is quite a match, right? And these came through, and this was the only flower pot I had left, totally sacral chakra orange, and I understood it needs to be that one. And so usually my space is more pure white, gold, pure water, blue a little bit, but a lot of just white, gold, yellow, green, but just these rose quartz, of course. But with these colors, that's so much about what I wanted to say, being at one and in peace with all energies, and also all steps, like all aspects of the process. And 333. So that fits with the karmic energy, because again, it's a wheel and it's turning, see, and it's burning here like the sun. Wow, that fits so well. And actually, yeah, I mean, they said I should actually start making the table, you know, putting the things where they need to be. But the sun is still speaking, so I can't. I can't let her go. Okay. But yeah, I mean, this, and I don't want to actually have tarot yet. So let's turn her around. But this wants to be here, totally, because that's the process, right? It's this burning wheel of fortune, and we turn it that way to, you know, I mean, that's counterclockwise. That's undoing, unraveling, going back to 0 point. That's what we are doing. 444. And I was seeing so crazy figures in the sky the last days, also during the period of the wolf moon. And they forced me to put a huge star on my third eye and for this session today. So I do really spiritual sessions every now and then when I'm called to, and create images and pictures also, which I then put into books or decks where I'm in the process with. So it's not yet ready. I only have one deck ready, which is a little manifestation deck. But yeah, I'm working on all these interesting rituals, and but you know, I just do what I'm called to and what pushes through. So it's really a lot about being in the present, especially with spiritual work. Of course, we cannot plan and schedule as we would do that as humans. And that was, by the way, one of the main messages of yesterday's session. So again, a link here. And yeah, also with, you know, the time mentioning. So it's not linear. No. it goes as well like that. And yeah, that brings me to the left-hand path, which is totally misunderstood. And also we do have the blood here, right? And people think, oh, left-hand path, that's kind of dark magic. No, it isn't. It isn't. And the pentacle, by the way, it's just a symbol for the human body and a symbol for protection. Okay? It just means it's a seal. It seals, yeah. It seals the body and protects it from spiritual intrusive energies. So, and I was told to listen to some, not only seals actually, but also what came through was, also with shuffling the playlist, of course, a karmic release session, a very good one, I will link it, and also a removal of spiritual implants and stuff, you know, to be siphoned, what we of course don't want to be. And so yeah, and left hand path of magic, that just means we are undoing. You know, right, it's we do, and left, it's we are undoing. And the left hand, that's a feminine side, open to the moon. The moon has all these cycles. The moon is all about doing and not and undoing, you know, becoming and unbecoming. It's this working with the void energy. And yeah, there we go, right? That's totally the energy. And she also has that because she holds the vision, right? And I was told that's the cosmic heart. And this is the light and shadow message deck I channeled. We will use that. This is the moonology. We will use that. This is our tarot. I don't even know the name of the show, but we will use that. And there's a little, two Lenormands. We will use them also. And we do have beautiful little but very good angel messages here. We will use that, okay? But now I'm telling you the spread. So these 3 sea stars, I always say sea star, but tough it. And my language is sea star. So yeah, and you know, the star energy is totally here because we are healing, and I even just told you I have a star on my third eye. So that's what we are doing. And I created a session also earlier with these, I have more of them, where I laid them down so that really totally each to kind of represent how soul family works, you know, and they all have a little thing, you know, a little where they are not just perfectly healed, and they all support each other. And I made it like that really no wound was shown anymore, and that everyone supports each other. And I love that so much, that session. Yeah, I channeled something through with that, of course. But now we shall just take these three, and actually the first star shall represent, ooh, it goes half in the shadow. I love that, because that represents past life karma, which is related to the 9-year cycle we are moving out of. We are cutting ourselves out of right now. And in the last 9 years, whatever we went through personally in this lifetime, like things that felt karmic, things that stuck, you know, 9 years, things that were really, really deep, really heavily. I have some. And you too, I guess, otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? I mean, we all went through this 9-year cycle, of course, but there's the link to past life, totally. Because all these deep things, they, we take a little bit of these deep things, of course, into a 9-year huge cycles, right? It would make no sense to work on a past life karmic cycle for one day or for a month. These moon cycles, they are for smaller things, but these big periods like Saturn periods, also Uranus, 7 years, but just this, what we now had, these 9 years, and now we are moving into year 10 with which is then number 1 again, you know, where we bring it back to source. And I really wanted to say 10 and should, because that's 1 and the 0, and this is 1 back immersed in source. And that's what the sun did to us, or to me, in this vision I had, where we were really totally wrapped in pure source light energy. And it's all about the light. I love that so much, because yesterday it was working with the moon and the wolf clan, very earth, deep, ancestral energy, totem-like, and it was all about, I felt like I was looking through stones and the grass, you know, as if I'm really down there, totally earth, totally grounded, one with the stones, one with the what was growing there. And that was our perspective, was a lot with earth energy, but then also, of course, tuning into the high sky energy. But we were very much totally on the ground, on the wheel of fortune, but on the ground. It was all about new direction for moving forward on earth, though it was a release session. But it was like through the releasing process of this supermoon, how had it shifted our timeline, and what path was clearing up, basically, you know. And the moon is all about finding the path in the tarot card, and that was totally the energy of yesterday's reading. And now we're hanging here with the sun and we are in the sky, and I love that. I feel so high, and yeah, and I mean just energetically, of course. I do not take anything. Oh, and what's really funny, we shall smoke just a cigarette later in this ritual, which is really funny because I don't smoke. But this cigarette, it's very, no, not yet there, they say, but shall be here. It's an offering, right? Same with this 1 drop of blood. It's an offering. And you know, when you do shamanic work or something and you want to connect with an area or speak with a tree and meet the spirits of the forest, you always should bring something. I'm not saying you have to, you know, give a drop of your blood there. Please don't do that. But I'm saying, or look up whatever you do, right? Make yourself, because there are rituals where you can form a strong connection with a rose bush or something, through, you know, the female cycles, and really working with that. And of course, in ancient days, we worked a lot with that, because it's a very powerful carrier, and the whole collective feminine energy, like each and every woman on this world, has a huge spiritual purpose, just working all these things out through her body. And guess who is doing most of the past life karmic work? That's a lot just the feminine and the family, who really deal with the karmic things. You know, what's cooking in the kitchen. Yeah, and the typical role of the masculine is, of course, clearing the path into the new. And that's here. This is our new path, what is clearing. And I love it that it's under these flowers that are just coming in here. I love that so much. And yeah, so this is then, we shall, yeah, it's okay like this. So we will draw some cards for each pile and just read intuitively, okay? And yeah, I guess, where is this red pearl? Okay, so she's gone actually, the red pearl, but on my way back I found this one and they said take that. So yeah, and I just was looking because it's not perfectly red, but they are saying it's super perfect for our purpose. So okay, so we will take that. And yeah, and they gave me that, and now I understand. So that's our offering here, right? So we give that, and this is just, oh, I'm so funny. Here's the other one in my hand all the time. Okay, that's fun. We will take her there. And no, they are saying no, in the charms box. Okay, to activate the charms box. Okay, we do that. So these things, it's just symbolic, as you can see, and it is energy though. Right? It is energy though, and there is intention in. So now I kind of gave something back to the memory of the ancestral realm, right? To activate. And to what I just explained with the female cycles and connecting through plants they then work with and use also as protection. So feminine energy in general is protection embodied, actually, right? So there is no stronger protection than Empress energy, and because it's just source streaming through, right? And yeah, we will also use dices for each group. Astro dices. Where shall we put that actually? Right now? Here? Okay. Yeah, can we see it? Yes, we can. So it needs to be on screen so that we have that visual. Now they are showing me here's maybe a better place. Oh, I'm not really sure, guys. What do you want from me? Yeah, that's good, they are saying. Because, you know, this is angel hair. And here we will but you can't see it, right? Oh. I hate that when these things happen, because it's not what usually happens, because usually it just flows perfectly, and now I'm confused. And that's what, of course, I mean, there must be a message in here, right? So let's just dig for it. And that's, they are showing me the heart and the stone and like frequencies, right? Of course. I mean, it's the very moment we doubt ourselves and we are unsure, then we lose the connection. 444 right now, but the connection is never gone. Okay, so whenever you feel like, oh, I'm not really sure now, I'm anxious now, I don't know what, that's exactly where of course karmic patterns can kick in easily and get over us and force us to walk down a certain path we maybe wouldn't have chosen if you were perfectly in tune with our highest good, right? Our highest possibility. I love that we now have these 3 piles. This will give us insight about the deep stuff, like really. And this is what we have experienced now, right? The last 9 years. But this is also a timeline which we totally cannot see. So we have probably, I mean, here aren't cards yet, right? But I feel like there comes some pain. And see, now I'm back in slowly but surely energy. And that's always good. The very moment we lose a little bit connection or something isn't working out as we wanted, back. Just a step back. Okay? And just go slower, tune into your body. I mentioned Empress energy. That's just what we need to do. And so right now it seems like very interesting, so that the raven's feather wanted to go here. Huh. Okay. I mean, Odin has the 2 ravens, and one sees in the future and one in the past. So maybe this is the most important, to have foresight, you know? I mean, this season of the year is a lot just about foresight, of course. And it sometimes feels that it wants to be just, you know, straight up. Like natives had their, oops, hi, their feathers. And also with a heart here, see, and with a star even on my forehead. Yeah, it's that kind of energy. It's like, okay, so not like we are crowned, but we have this totem energy, this guidance energy. See, with the 3rd eye here, and then she stares right ahead, and behind her all these big wings that are not seen in that little picture, but they are big, and they are kind of clearing the way, right? And that's what we did, I'm hearing. Like, we did that. Ooh, now they want us to have that here. Yes, they are saying, you did that. Like, you cleansed the underworld and sealed it. I like that, how she looks now. Okay, so I guess we shall start with the energy we worked through the last 9 years. And as you see, we shall start with the Astro dice. And I just need to pause every now and then so that I have recordings I can work with, right? Not too long ones. See? Cycles, not too long ones. So we need to be able to work with that. So interesting. So let's see what comes out. Ooh, do you want to go there? Makes sense, right? So this is definitely past life energy. And this is what we have worked out because it's here. So let me have a look. I can't see it very well. Scorpio. Yes, there is nothing more to say because she literally represents Scorpio. Okay. Ooh, 4th house. Okay. Ancestral, home. I'm hearing home, like home, as if home was so under attack. Like, what is it even? Oh, okay. I want a card. What card? What do you want me to take? They are saying maybe you should first take these guys somewhere back. Okay. So our sun wants to be there. The Ace of Pentacles sticks here and clears the way. And guess what? Now we know, I guess. Yeah. So this clears our path, right? We have put blood, sweat, and tears. Oh my God, I just saw 212, which is my birthday code, which always means, of course, for me, yes, that's personal. So this is, I mean, we already saw that it is a very personal message for each one that is tuning in, okay? So when my birthday is coming up, that means it's about your birthday too. So, although it's my number, right? But that's the energy of the reading. And I was about to say, we have put blood, see, worked through last 9 years. She did that, you know, connected to the cosmic heart. Really high energy I'm feeling here. I mean, scorpionic energy, that's transformational, right? That's internal fire that goes through. I mean, there are these 3 phases, 3 again, I love that, where we first are, it's a Scorpio. And what does a Scorpio? It comes here to literally suck the poison out of the environment, suck it in, and keep it safe in the tail, right? And then, of course, if they really need that, they can use that. But it's what I also just was mentioning with the left hand path, what people fear, are afraid of usually, just like scorpionic energy. It's, you know, it's powerful, for sure. I mean, having all this poison inside, but that means that someone who carries scorpionic energy is able to take poison from everywhere, literally, like a sponge. But they are not a sponge. It's not just being an empath and taking all frequencies with you and then transmuting them, but it is really high-level alchemy. So kind of a super empath, if you want, right? And not only taking it and transforming it or transmuting it and feeling it through, but it gets dissected and separated and burned and sealed and all that. And yeah, so the internal flame, it is a little bit like surgery, like spiritual surgery energy, I want to say. And because it goes really deep, I'm really seeing like all the veins in the body. Again, blood, veins, interesting energy. And where you need to be very precise, of course. And I mean, the Scorpio as an animal, it's said that it can survive literally in hell, right? Like in the nowhere, everywhere, in the desert. So strong desert energy, like survivor energy. I mean, of course, right, with this reading, this topic makes sense. And so the storylines that we have encountered in the last 9 years, and now I'm saying, right, these 9 years we went through, they are connected to homes that are not even on Earth, because if they would have been on Earth, this would have gone here, but it's here, up in the sky with a star. So that's literally galactic home energy. Star seeds, welcome. You're at the right place, I want to say. Even though no place felt right. And so, and also it's of course about all, you know, old soul energy, all these places on Earth we have moved through, and from every lifetime we take a little bit in our bag, you know, because we try to put in so much blood, sweat and tears as possible, but sometimes it's not enough, right? And there is a residue, karmic residue, and we take it over and over, and it goes from the incarnation, it goes back to soul level, and then soul decides, okay, so then I create now that life, and I can bring in this again, and when I'm at that age and I have to do that anyway, then I can combine these two things, great, 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 and then I have a link to this past life, and then I can, you know, 717 right now. So that's deep. Good. So it might also be about a person that's home. This one person that feels like home, more than a place ever could. And maybe also because this very person has the same cosmic, spiritual roots, links, connections, energies within them. Yeah. So shall we take tarot? We are saying take her first. Okay, so this is the Justice card from yesterday, and she shall just be here, because that's literally what we did. They are saying we did this karmic cycle justice. And there are no tarot cards needed for what we've been through, because anyway, it would be, we want to know, we want to look here. They are saying we just want to see it here, because it's literally the same energy. Makes sense. Okay, so again, back to the Scorpio. Okay, so we do have the Scorpio, and then we have the poison in the tail, and secured, right? Secured, so that it cannot harm anyone anymore. And that's what we do with this karmic energy, literally. It's the best example ever for karmic energy, because we can take it out of the field. I mean, with soaking it in and working ourselves through it. We can go in hermit mode and do these things. So we must not live like 30 years and getting, you know, all this backlash of some other lifetimes. No, we can make it in a very consecrated way, I'm hearing. So sometimes, for example, they are showing me hospital situations. So then we have an injury, and we also have this time period where we are like in a cocoon state, and where we are totally focused on healing the body. And what is the body? Even the carrier of the soul, the messenger. And the, you know, and we speak about that a lot, like it's a vessel, yes, but not only a vessel to carry us, but also a vessel that carries everything, every frequency, every karmic residue. So working through illnesses, through any strange things that happen with your body, that's all ever really, I mean, it's related to karma. And but I don't want to kind of give the impression right now that karma is a bad thing. It's not, right? It's not. I mean, even your ability to walk on your feet, that's karma. You have learned that before. So karma is, it's data, what we have lived through. And of course, mostly what we have sent out. Like it's the law of action. So that means the action you take yesterday Of course, you can see that with your day. If you have a weak evening and you don't get your things together, then you have, when you get up next morning, you have to maybe clean up the kitchen from yesterday evening. And that's what we are speaking about here, right? We cleaned up some kitchens that we couldn't in some other lifetimes. And we did that kind of in the morning of our lives to have then still a path clear. And however long that take, I mean, as long as we are here and breathing, we have a future. And future can look totally different, like totally different. Because when that's cleaned up, then it's free, like free. And that's so beautiful.